Chapter 16 Confidence Intervals. Let me explain this example. In an article exploring blood serum levels of vitamins and lung cancer risk, the mean serum level of vitamin E in the control group was 11.9. There were 196 patients in the control group. Assuming that the standard deviation sigma equal 4.30. Here sigma is the population standard deviation. That means the population standard deviation is known. Find a 95% confidence interval for the mean serum level of vitamin E in all persons similar to the control group. Since sigma is known, we know the confidence interval is x bar plus or minus z star sigma over root n. X bar is the sample mean, sigma is the population standard deviation, n is the sample size. Then what is the z star? Yes, z star is the critical value. All informations are given but critical value. How do we find the critical value, which is z star? We know the confidence level 95%. Confidence level is given. Then we can find the critical value using the z table. I explained how to find the critical value in the previous video. Once all informations are available, we can plug to the confidence interval. So here x bar 11.9 and what is the z star times sigma over root 10. Z star times sigma over root 10 is the margin of error. I will explain that in a few minutes. Once we plug the numbers, we can get the margin of error 0.602. You see here 28 minus 0.602 and 28 plus 0.602. So margin of error is 0.602. Then we can find the lower bound. Lower bound is the 11.298 and the upper bound is 12.502. Then let me talk about the margin of error. What is the margin of error? How do we calculate the margin of error? Margin of error is z star sigma over root 10. So that is the margin of error. Once we know the critical value z star, sigma and root 10, we can calculate the margin of error. Once we know the margin of error, how do we calculate the confidence interval, lower bound and upper bound? It is x bar plus or minus margin of error. Then go to the next part. It is the same problem, but it's asking different question. You see here, if you wanted to estimate the mean serum level of vitamin E with 90% confidence and a margin of error of no more than 0.25, how large a sample would you need? Here asking sample size and margin of error is given. It means it say margin of error of no more than 0.25. So we can pick the highest margin of error. That is the highest margin of error 0.25. So now you should know the margin of error. We know margin of error is z star sigma over root 10. Now let me write down the given information. X bar is given, sigma is known, it's also given, margin of error here 0.25 and critical value for the 90% confidence level. So using the z table, you can find the critical value for the 90% confidence level. Once we know all the values, we can plug the numbers into the equation of the margin of error. What is the margin of error? That is z star sigma over root 10. Here margin of error is 0.25. Therefore 0.25 equal 1.96 times 4.30 and square root of n. N is unknown. Therefore we can isolate n here you can do the math part here. So then n equal 1.96 times 4.30 divided by 0.25 and power 2. Once you get the second power of this part, you will see it is 1136.499. So what is the n? N is the sample size. So sample size cannot be decimals. It must be always with the whole numbers. Therefore, we should round this number. We always round up. Therefore, n equal 1137.